Lady Mabel Grex is in her sitting room in the company of her female companion, Miss Cassowary. Frank Tregear, her second cousin, is downstairs, waiting to be shown up. Lady Mabel and Frank Tregear have a history. Not 2 years since, they were lovers. But that's all over now. Or is it? Neither of them have a penny to their name. Lady Mabel is the daughter of the dissipated Lord Grex and can expect nothing from him. Frank Tregear is the younger son of a Cornish gentleman and the Oxford classmate of Lord Silverbridge, the eldest son of Plantagenet Palliser, the Duke of Omnium.
That's nonsense, Miss Cass. I shall see him.
Then I shall stay as well.
You will do nothing of the kind. Will you please to tell me what it is you are afraid of? Do you think that Frank is going to make love to me again?
No.
Or that if I choose that he should, I would let you stop me? If he is in love with somebody else. Perhaps I am too. And we are two paupers.
But my lord would not approve of it.
If you know what my lord approves of and what he disapproves, then you understand him a great deal better than I do. My cousin is here now to speak to me about his own affairs, and I mean to see him alone. Be so good to tell the servant to send him up. Do you really mean you have the courage to ask the Duke of Omnium for his daughter's hand?
Why not?
I believe you would dare do anything.
Well, I couldn't very well take it without asking him.
No doubt. Of course, you are terribly in love.
Very thoroughly in love, I think. I am.
For the 10th time, I should say.
For the second only. I do not regard myself as a monument of constancy, but I think I am less fickle than some other people.
Meaning me?
Not especially.
Frank, that is ill-natured and almost unmanly and false also. When have I been fickle? You say there was one before with you? I say there's never really been anyone at all with me. No one knows that better than yourself. I cannot afford to be in love until I'm quite sure that the man is fit to be and will be my husband.
I sometimes doubt whether you are capable of being in love with anyone.
Well, I think I am. But I am at any rate capable of not being in love until I wish it. Come, Frank, do not quarrel with me. You know, you ought to know, I should have loved you had it not been that such love would have been bad for the both of us.
It is a kind of self-restraint that I do not understand.
Because you are not a woman.
Why did you twit me with changing my love?
Because I am a woman. Can't you forgive as much as that to me?
Certainly. Only you must not think that I have been false because I now love her so dearly.
I do not think you are false. I would do anything to help you if there were anything I could do. But when you spoke so like a Romeo of your love...
Well, why not like a Romeo, if I feel like a Romeo?
But I doubt whether Romeo spoke to Rosaline of his love for Juliet. But you shall speak to me of yours for Lady Mary, and I shall listen to you patiently and encourage you, and not even think of those former vows.
The former vows were foolish.
Of course.
You at least used to say so.
I say so now, and they shall be as though they had never been spoken. So, you bearded the Duke of Omnium in his den and asked him for Lady Mary's hand, just as though you had been a young duke yourself and owned half a county.
Just the same.
And what did he say?
He swore that it was impossible. Of course I knew all that before.
And how will it be now? You will not give it up?
Certainly not.
And Lady Mary?
One human being can perhaps never answer for another with perfect security.
But you feel sure of her?
I do.
He, I should think, can be very imperious.
And so can she. The Pallisers are all obstinate.
Is her brother Lord Silverbridge obstinate?
Stiff-necked as a bull if he takes it into his mind to be so.
I wouldn't have thought it.
No, because he is so soft in his manner, and often finds it easier to be led by others than to direct himself.
I wonder what he thinks of me. I suppose he has spoken to you about me.
Why do you ask?
Why?
And why should I tell you? Suppose he had come to me in the confidence of friendship and told me that he thinks you ugly and stupid.
I am sure he has not said that. He has eyes to see and ears to hear. But though I am neither ugly nor stupid, he needn't like me.
Do you want him to like you?
Yes, I do. Oh yes, you may laugh, but if I did not think I could be a good wife to him, I would not take his hand, even to become Duchess of Omnium.
Do you mean to say that you love him, Mabel?
No, I do not mean that. But I would learn to love him. You do not believe that. It is, as I said before, because you are not a woman, and do not understand how women are trammelled. Do you think ill of me because I say this?
No, indeed.
Do not think ill of me if you can help it, because you are perhaps the only friend that I can trust. I almost trust dear old Cass, but not quite. She is old-fashioned, and I shock her. As for other women, there isn't one anywhere to whom I would say a word. Only think how a girl such as I am is placed, or indeed any girl. You. If you see a woman you fancy, you can pursue her, win her and triumph, or lose her and gnaw your heart. But at any rate, you can do something. You can tell her you love her. You can tell her so again and again. And even though she should scorn you, you can set yourself about the business that you have taken into hand, and you can work hard at it. What can a girl do?
Girls work hard too sometimes.
Well, of course they do. But everyone feels that they are sinning against their sex. Of love such as a man's is a woman ought to know nothing. How can she love with passion when she should never give her love until it has been asked, and not then unless her friends tell her that the thing is suitable? Love such as that to me is out of the question. But, as it is fit that I should be married, I wish to be married well.
And you will love him, after a fashion?
Yes. After a very sterling fashion. I shall make his wishes my wishes, his ways my ways, his home my home, his party my party, his ambition my ambition, his honour my honour. Do you not know me well enough to be sure that I shall be loyal to him?
Yes. I think that you would be loyal.
Whether I loved him or not, he should love me.
And you think that Silverbridge would do?
Yes, I think that Silverbridge would do. But you no doubt will say that I am flying high.
Not too high. Why should you not fly high? If I can justify myself, surely I cannot accuse you.
It's hardly the same thing, Frank. Of course, there isn't a girl in London to whom Lord Silverbridge wouldn't be the best match that she could make. He has the choice of us all.
Most girls would think twice before refusing him.
Very few would think twice before accepting him. Perhaps he wishes to add to his wealth by marrying richly as his father did.
No thought on that subject will ever cross his mind. That will be all as it happens. As soon as he takes a sufficient fancy to a girl, he will ask her straight out. I do not say that he might not change afterwards, but he would mean it at the time.
If he had once said the word to me, he would not change. But then what right have I to expect it? What has he said to you about me?
Very little. But had he said much, I should not tell you.
You are my friend. But you are his too. And he perhaps is more to you than I am. As his friend, it may be your duty to tell him everything that I have been saying. In which case I have been wrong.
Do you think that I shall do that, Mabel?
I do not know. Men are so strong in their friendships.
Mine with you is the older and the sweeter. Though we may not be more than friends, I will say that it is the more tender. In my heart of hearts, I do not think that Silverbridge could do better.
Thanks for that, Frank.
I shall tell him nothing of you that could set him against you.
And you will be glad to see me his wife?
As you must be someone's wife, and not mine.
I cannot be yours, Frank. Can I?
And not mine. I will endeavour to be glad. Who can explain his feelings in such a matter? Though I most truly love the girl I hope to marry, yet my heart goes back to former things and opens itself to past regrets. But you and I must be too wise to permit ourselves to be tormented by such foolish melancholy.
What the deuce are you doing here?
I have been speaking with Lady Mabel.
For about an hour.
Indeed, I do not know for how long.
Papa, he is going to be married.
Going to be married, is he? Who is the fortunate woman?
I don't think he will let me tell you.
Not yet. I think there is nothing settled.
Where is Miss Cassewary?
I asked her to leave because Frank wished to speak to me about his own affairs. You have no objection to his coming, Papa?
I think he might find something better to do with his time than hanging about here all day. Who's the girl?
You heard him say I was not to tell.
Has she got money?
I believe she will have a great deal.
And she is a great fool for her pains.
Lady Mabel spent the greater part of the afternoon alone, endeavouring to recall to her mind all that she had said to Frank Tregear, and questioning herself as to the wisdom and truth of her own words. She had intended to tell the truth, but hardly perhaps the whole truth. The life which was before her, which it was necessary that she should lead, seemed to her to be so difficult. She could not clearly see her way to be pure and good and feminine, and at the same time wise. And she had been false now, so far false that she had told her friend that she had never been in love. But she was in love with him, Frank Tregear. She knew it as thoroughly as it was possible for her to know anything, and had acknowledged it to herself a score of times. But she could not marry him, and it was expected, nay, almost necessary, that she should marry someone. To that someone, how good she would be, how she would strive by duty and attention, and if possible by affection, to make up for that misfortune of her early love.